It's good. Today is Friday. Hmm.
Yeah, it is Friday today.
So what time
How are
in
you
what
doing?
time in Turkey?
It's 12 o'clock.
To,
9 past 12.
midday, is it?
Excuse me?
Is it midday and lunchtime? Because 12
Yeah, it's
o'clock.
midday. Yeah,
Here
it's
in
midday.
Australia, it's 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, I believe that it's like it's 5 o'clock there.
No, 7 o'clock in the evening.
7 o'clock already.
Yeah, Friday. Hmm.
Okay, sure, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't have a chance to come back to you because when I called, maybe you are sleeping already. It's late, and yeah, and also going to work, and I don't have opportunity to speak to you.
Okay.
I went through the document,
Mm-hmm.
so I've got a few questions that I just want to ask you. If you, I don't
Go
know if
ahead.
you
Go ahead. I'm
have time.
listening. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Africa. I was saying when someone comes and buy a diamond, gold, he pays for the insurance. Who pays for the insurance? The buyer or the seller?
The buyer has to insure. He has to insure.
The buyer.
Mhm.
You need to insure. Okay. And you also need to insure for the
Of course, if
the
he gonna
transport.
ship it to Turkey, he has to insure. What happened if the goods
Okay.
be stolen? So he can claim that to the
Yeah.
insurance. He has to insure. But if he is going to hand carry, he doesn't need to insure.
If it's going to.
If the buyer is going to hand carry, he doesn't need to insure. But you are only allowed to carry at least 5 or 10 kilos. But you have to stay at business class. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And for the tax, we pay for the tax.
No, the
You said.
tax it varies. It varies in Mali. The tax is 7%. In Conakry, 6.5. In Sierra Leone, 6.5. That is normal that you are going to pay taxes. In Turkey, when you buy anything plus VAT, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. You buy gold exactly the same plus VAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's a buy. Okay. Sure. So once the transaction is made, the money is being transferred from the buyer account into the seller,
Mhm.
and then the goods are delivered, and the goods are delivered to the buyer, right?
Well, when the buyer transfer the payment to the seller's bank account, it would take 3 working days. So the payment goes to the correspondence bank in New York because the money has to be investigate whether the money is clean or not. Everybody goes to the correspondence bank. Then after the correspondence bank receive the money, then he transfer to the central bank of the country where the buyer wants to buy. After that, that's the time that the money will transfer to the branch of the seller's bank account. That is normal. Mhm. Then after
Okay.
3 working
No.
days, when the payment has been cleared, then that is the time to process the export documentation like commercial invoice, certificate of clearance, ownership, custom clearance, attestation, and declaration that the gold is free of child labor. You will get that
Okay.
when the payment has been cleared into the seller's bank account. Yes.
Okay. And sorry if I'm asking this question just because I'm
Go ahead.
getting
Go
question
ahead.
from my
Go ahead.
colleagues here.
Mhm.
So tell me, is there any guarantee that once the money, what's the guarantee that the buyer is having that once the money is transferred into the seller's account and he will get his goods?
Well, the guarantee, the seller has to deliver. I'll tell you. I think you already read the full corporate offer. I'm gonna summarize again. When the buyer wants to buy gold, your buyer is from Turkey. Mhm. The buyer has to establish business relationship with us, especially to the seller, because the buyer doesn't know the seller and the seller doesn't know the buyer. So there is a really good business establishment. Wilhelmina is a business facilitator and the mandate of the seller. So I am guiding the buyer on the ground, make sure that everything is spot on. Before you gonna travel, okay, we need to
Yeah.
do the due diligence. I am going to do the due diligence of the buyer. I am.
Mm.
Because the buyer already knows the procedure, like I give you the procedure, so you need to educate your buyer that gold is not for credit. This is FOB. Now,
Mm.
when
Yeah.
when your buyer send a formal letter of intent to purchase, LOI coming from him, right? That there, Wilhelmina,
Mm.
I was talking to Mr. Cyprian. I understand. I want to buy gold 50 kilos. I'm looking to make into jewelry or to refine into 99.99. I want to find the purity of 95, 96, something like that. So must be stated
Mm.
on the letter of intent, because
Letter of intent.
yeah,
Okay.
because I'm going to examine the letter. I'm the
Mm.
one will say to the head office, okay, I have validated the buyer, let us proceed. So now, when
Mm.
I receive that, we will send the buyer a response to consider to accept his order of 50 kilos. Mhm.
Mm.
So now the buyer, I'm going to ask the buyer to provide us his business registration, importation license, his passport copy, and the proof of fund, the value of 50 kilos. Mhm.
Mm.
There is no point to travel, there's no point to issue the landing visa if the buyer cannot convince us. Now, once I receive that,
Yeah.
we will send the buyer together with you, because you are a buyer's mandate of the buyer. We will provide the buyer a company profile of the seller and the
Mm.
mining license of the seller. So the contract is
Mm.
everything: banking details of the seller, contact number of the seller, and attach the profile of the seller. So when the
Mm.
buyer review it, he has to sign the contract and return to us. Mhm.
Yeah.
Then, when the contract has been returned, the buyer has to review the contract. He can a little bit amend it. Then we will issue the landing visa for the buyer to travel together with you.
Mm.
And if the buyer doesn't travel, you have to travel with me.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna say, okay, Mr. Buyer, I'm here in the office. Now the seller would not release the goods. Just a moment.
Mm.
Someone is calling me. Just a moment. Just a moment.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
alright, it's alright, it's
Oh.
alright, it's alright.
Okay.
It's alright. So, you're gonna come to the office and say, okay, Mr. Buyer, I'm here. I'm here in the office. What would be the next? Because the buyer has to transfer the payment. The
Mm.
gold has to be assay. There is a cost of the assay to that refinery of $100. Now, if the buyer wants to
Yeah.
go to Mali, yes, there is $100 per kilo. Mhm.
Yeah.
But sometimes I ask the seller, okay, because the buyer make a down payment, we will waive the 100 kilos. Now, 100 kilos times 50. Think about it.
Mm. Mm.
Mhm. Times 50 kilos. That is $5,000.
Yeah.
So when the gold will be asked at DNGM, the DNGM will give you an assay report that the gold is 22 plus, the purity is 96, 97. Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, it would be the rollover the process of the export documentation. You're gonna stay in Mali together with me at least 9 working days, at least,
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
because the process are too slow, especially we have a time difference. Mm.
Mm.
And when I travel, I do charge my services to cover my
Yeah.
travel cost. Yeah.
Mm.
If the buyer cannot afford, meaning to say the buyer is not really a buyer.
Mm.
That is the reason why the buyer was been scammed. Just recently, just few hours ago, another buyer from Turkey, and the gold didn't arrive in Dubai. He wanted to sell the gold in Dubai.
Mm.
The gold didn't arrive. Why didn't arrive? He
Mm.
was being offered $41,000 in Uganda.
Mm.
Anybody offer you cheap undervalue, Think about it. You are waiting for disaster. The real seller doesn't sell cheap price. However, because you talk to Wilhelmina, and I am the one who will negotiate on your behalf, instead of 8%, I might ask my seller, can we give the buyer at least 11 to 12%? Why? Because I'm charging you. So I'm going to throw back the 3 to 4% back to you, to the buyer. So at the end of the day, the buyer is a winner. Instead of getting 8%. Now today, the price of gold is $62,000. Yeah, in the world market.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Wilhelmina.
Go
You're
ahead.
saying that instead of 8%, you can negotiate like 11% for
Yes.
the LBMA, right?
Yes.
So now I want to fully understand what is the LBMA means.
LBMA is the association that they are in control of gold pricing and gold transaction before and after. That is an organization. They are the one who is monitoring the movement of gold. You go online, what is the meaning of LBMA? Just a moment, I'm going to go to the meaning of what is LBMA. I will give you the answer.
No,
Okay.
I saw it.
I
got it. Yeah.
You got it. So you understand what is the meaning of LBMA. That is the World Control Body. So you are buying.
So now,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. So now, that LBMA, you need to pay that LBMA like 8% of
No, the price.
total,
The price of gold is $62,000. That is LBMA price, right? We give you 8% based on the LBMA price, because that $62,000 is already refined. You are not buying refined. You are buying unrefined. So we give you a discount so that when you resell it, you will get the profit. Yeah.
Oh,
I see.
okay.
You understand now?
I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So that is the reason why I explain it on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook.
But Philomena, don't you refine the gold there in Mali?
Yes, we can refine it. Yes, because there are 4 refineries in Mali right now: KMR, Marina, Unigold Refinery, and DNGM. But when you refine it, you have to pay extra. Yeah, you can refine it. Yeah.
So some buyers, they prefer just to refine in their country of origin.
Yeah. Well, you have to pay the gold first, and then you bring it to KMR and then refine it. That is your job. Yeah.
So now by refining, now the kilo will not decrease. The amount of the kilo will not go
No,
down.
it will not decrease. KMR knows about how to refine. I'll give you the background of KMR Refinery. KMR Refinery is an Italian group of company. They came to Mali 2015. And they are investing in Mali. That's why Mali is a progress country right now. They are there. When I was there, there's a lot of an infrastructure development. There are so many company positioning in Mali, because Mali is the 3rd largest gold producer in West Africa. Australian mining company, Chinese, Canadian, German, Russian, etc. They are there. They are digging, they are leasing. So the government is welcoming the big company, industrial company, in order to invest. But you are not an investor, you are a small timer, you are a gold trader. You buy to the cooperative, which is the big organization. The cooperative is a big organization. There are 4,500 local miners member. So they bring the dust gold, they dig the gold, they combine the dust gold, and they smelt into bar. Then they bring it into Bamako, which is the city, the capital city of Mali. So when the gold has been smelt in from bar to gold, then ready to export. You got me?
Yeah.
So when they said, okay, well, Amina, there is here is a new production. So now I'm gonna tell the world, hey, Africa is the main source of gold. Hey, we are here to do business. So the buyer come to Wilhelmina like you did. You come to me because you found me on my YouTube channel. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
So I put everything, I put the full corporate offer in order for the buyer to understand. Because most of the buyer are naive. They just think about the profit. You will never get profit if you don't know, if you don't understand what you are buying. You got me?
Okay.
So any
So
question?
now, let's say if I buy like a 1 kilo of gold, which is not refined. So once I refine it, it's not gonna be 1 kilo. It's gonna go less than 1 kilo.
No, it's
Isn't
not.
that so?
No, that's not true. I already been to refinery. The refinery would know how to refine. I'll give you an example. I'll use this example that I've been to the refinery here in Brisbane. There is a refinery in Brisbane called Brisbane Gold Refinery. So I went to the office because I'm very inquisitive. Because there was a guy from New Zealand was being scammed in Kampala. So he came to me and he wanted to recover his losses. So he traveled to Brisbane from New Zealand, and he has also son here in Brisbane. So his name is David. So I took David to that refinery. And the building, the office is on top of National Bank. So I said to David, and you have to have a capital. You cannot recover your losses unless you have a capital. He lost $90,000 during the time. So we have a good lunch, yes. So I explained it to him that you were being naive. You were being offered cheap price. There are so many gold stolen. There are two kinds of gold in Africa, low grade and high grade. Even though it's a low grade, can still make it into different uses. But the buyer doesn't know what he's doing. He just want to buy gold and resell it. What are you intend to buy? That is the question. So the refinery in Brisbane was saying even 92%, he can make it into 99.99. So I was surprised. I was. Yes. So Wilhelmina, go ahead.
But the impurities.
The most important, the purity is 90, 96, 95, 96, 97, 98. That is the purity of the gold. That is the purity.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was surprised that even 92%, they can make it into gold volume. Why? I said to the director, why you can make it? Well, Amina, when you smelt the gold into 99.99, we have to put a little bit lead to make it stronger. Because if it's pure, it will break. It will break. Now, I was in Dubai recently. I was in the factory. Again, they showed me on how to refine the gold to 24 carats. See? So most of the gold trader have no idea. You have a very bad sound. What is that?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. And Wilhelmina, there's another. I think the last question that I want to
go ahead.
So now that I'm gonna be working with you, I'll look for buyers on this side, and once I get a buyer, because I'll send to you, you know, you take offer from me, you educate the buyer, everything, and then we see. So now the buyer gonna give you like gonna pay you for after checking everything. The buyer is satisfied with everything, and then the buyer want to go to engage himself with you to.
The buyer wants to recover also his expenses. Yes. So instead of 8%, we give the buyer a very good price so that the buyer can also get the profit. But let me handle it, because I'm the one who will determine whether the buyer is real or not. Let me handle it, and you will get a referral fee, Spottis fee. We call that in Australia Spottis fee. Yeah.
Okay. And if it's like an ongoing contract, how would that work?
Well, actually, the seller doesn't give ongoing commission. The seller can fire me, and the buyer would not tell me. Just be contented. Right, because the buyer would not tell you and would not tell me. So I have to monitor the movement of the buyer. Right.
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna monitor the movement of the buyer, but how would you know that if the buyer
Well, you
is
have to
not
monitor
there?
the movement of your buyer. You have to follow up. You have to follow up your buyer. Hey, Mr. Buyer, how's things going? Yeah, so that you will be paid. Yeah, because the buyer are very clever. You must remember.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, to me, I don't have any problem. Okay. To me,
So
I don't have any problem dealing with the buyer. If the buyer would not tell me, it's okay. That is his decision. Yeah, I don't have any issue at
yeah,
all. Hmm.
okay, no problem. Okay, Philomena, I think that's all I wanted to ask you for today.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get to work.
Make sure that your buyer is real, so that the buyer would not waste your time.
No, that's the thing. But you see, like in every case, you only find the people who come to waste your time and this. But I'll open up to everyone, and we wait for the good one, and then go for it.
There's a lot of buyers who come to Wilhelmina, they are sucking information. I don't mind. And then they go behind my back. And then when they travel to Africa, they meet an accident, they meet a problem, they come back to Wilhelmina. And I told them, well, you know me, and then you went to go behind my back because you want to get cheap price, and what happened? They're disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So we have to make everything clear with them at the beginning, and then they know.
That's
So
the
if
reason
there's
why I
any disaster,
interview the
then
buyer.
yeah.
That's the reason I have to interview whether the buyer is real or not. I'll give you another example. There was an American guy from New York, and he said he's a buyer. Okay, and he was talking to me for a few months, and he traveled to Sierra Leone, right? And he think that he can get the gold. He was being offered during the time $35,000 per kilo. So he traveled.
Oh,
Yeah, he traveled and he was excited. Okay. And he was excited. Out of 20 people he was meeting, and he said, they're all scammer. And I told him, you are one of the scammer. And he said, why? You're looking for cheap price. You know that Sierra Leone doesn't sell cheap price.
yeah, that's true. That's right.
So he was stuck in Sierra Leone and he returned to New York. And then he said that Sierra Leone, a lot of scammer. Yes, he's going to deceive you. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm busy at the moment, so I'm sorry, I cannot take your call. So,
Okay, no.
So when going back to this American guy, he's really very smart. He said he's a buyer, and he went to Sierra Leone. He was offered $35,000 per kilo. Another guy from United Kingdom, his parents from Sierra Leone. And he said, Mrs. Ford, I'm here in Sierra Leone. And I was offered $52,000. Is that true, Mrs. Ford? I said, yes, it's true. That was 2020.
Yeah.
So he just went to Sierra Leone because his parent is from Sierra Leone, and he's brokering. And I told him, go to the village, whether you get the gold or not. So he asked me to cooperate with him. I said, no, I'm not interested. I want the buyer. I want to take the buyer with me to the office because the buyer needs the supply.
Yeah.
That's what the reason I was telling to this young man. Another Indian. They went to Sierra Leone and Conakry. Madam, I was offered $53,000. I said, yeah, it's true. So, madam, believe me, there's so many fake offer. And I told him, you trouble? You think you can get a cheap price? Yeah, there's a lot of fake offer. Yeah. Because, I'll tell you, Sierra Leone, Mali, and Conakry, they are going to sell it to you. But they don't have a license to export to you. That is the problem.
To export?
Yes. The owner of the gold has no license. Maybe the gold was been stolen. Maybe the gold was been hold up on the main road. So they have the gold, they have to sell it, whatever the price on the world market. But you are a foreigner. How are you able to take out of the country without export documentation? That is the biggest problem.
That's a problem.
Yes, it is. There's a lot. And you're going to say, oh, I'm going to buy gold to bring it to Dubai. I'll tell you, Dubai, there's a lot of fake buyers as well. There's a lot of smuggler as well. Dubai is the best country, but they are using Dubai as a transit. Yes? There's a lot of African in gold souk sitting down on the street, looking for buyers. Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's an African lady, I think from Ghana, is stuck in Dubai. She said that, Madam, I have a buyer, a real buyer. They're buying gold 1%. I said, go for it. Tell the buyer to go to the refinery and you can buy 1%. And the African lady says, the buyer wanted you, Mrs. Ford, to bring gold. No, we don't bring the gold to anybody. We don't bring money.
Yeah.
You never know, you're a hold upper.
Yeah.
Gold is very tricky. You can be murdered in this gold business if you're not very careful.
That's true.
You can be kidnapped or you can be murdered. Yeah.
Yeah, I know people who were murdered for this. I know.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm the only person who explained to you like this. None. No such broker explaining. They are just running around and their eyes is bigger than commission. You would never get commission unless the buyer is real.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of people doesn't like me. There's a lot. There's a lot of joker broker.
If you're doing something the right way, and if people don't like you, it's their problem.
That is their problem, really. I don't mind. Good luck to them. They even blog me that I'm a scammer. I don't know how much I scam them. I don't have any problem. I was being screwed. I was being scammed by African lady from Ghana. And I wouldn't touch Ghana. I have a bad experience in Ghana. And when go ahead.
You want to buy something, gold.
Yeah. No, I went to Ghana to assist the buyer, and both buyers and sellers screwed me.
Oh, so you didn't know the buyers before?
I know the buyer, but there was the buyer says to my seller after they asked the gold, and he said, I know your intention, I know your concern, and I understand your concern. Yeah, the concern is they screwed me. We have a meeting on the boardroom. They said, I know your concern and I understand it. After our meeting, they don't want to see me. They don't want to talk to me. Their concern is to scam my seller. Lucky that I told the seller, when the gold arrived in Mexico, that 50 kilos, I'll tell you, you're going to be murdered. Yeah, there's so many smugglers, there's so many mafia. Yeah, there's so many dirty buyers, there's so many syndicate buyers. Yeah. My seller was telling me, thank God we found you, Mrs. Ford. Thank God. Because I exposed this syndicate. I want to dismantle it. The buyer and the sellers are also involved with this syndicate. The buyer and the seller are also involved in money laundering and gold laundering. Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I told my seller, never involve in smuggling, never involve in gold laundering, because one way or another you will be arrested or your license would be revoked. So never.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Never. That's why my seller said, thank God that we found you. Yeah. Well, I'm very expensive, I told you.
No, I mean expenses. That's good as long as you provide your good service. Then everyone is a winner. Then there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I brought the buyer from United States, and this buyer and both male and female, they are young. And you know what they said, Mrs. Ford, your services is worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
I give the buyer 14% less before entering 2023. Yeah.
That's good.
And they paid my services. It's worth it, they said. But in spite of that, I negotiated instead of 8%. So they resell it to their customer, 2%, we get a profit. Where are they going to find a person like me?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So you're happy
Thanks
now?
so very
Your question has been answered?
Yeah, answered. Now everything is clear now.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, thanks so very much, Melvin.
It's my pleasure. Our conversation is on the record.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant good morning to you, or good afternoon to you, and good evening.
And good evening
Hang
to
on,
you.
I'm gonna before we're gonna close each other, I'm gonna go to the world market because the price is ups and down, just like a wave, just like okay. Today is Friday.
Okay.
Now the price of gold today is 62.94.62.
Yeah, I saw.
You saw it?
I saw in your message.
62
I
right
saw your
now.
message that you sent.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
the price
it's
of
going
gold
up
it
again.
fluctuates. Yeah. So
Okay.
how do you know your buyer, Mr. Krepin? How do you pronounce you, Mr. Krepin from Turkey?
No, Cyprian.
Cyprian. Okay. How do you know
Yeah,
your buyer,
yes.
Cyprian? How do you know?
No, it's some of the people that I've been in contact with, as
Mhm.
I told you, but you see, like many of them, they're so skeptical about going to Africa because for them they think, no, if. So that's the problem. But I just want to guarantee them that everything is fine. And
Well, my
I'm
seller in
putting
Mali, 2020, they shipped the gold 1 ton to Turkey, but the buyer is a friend of the chief, and it's a family friend. So the buyer transferred the money to my seller's bank account, and the gold has been shipped it to Turkey. But it's really thorough export documentation, because the buyer is a friend of the owner of the gold. Yeah, 1 ton, and the buyer paid 50% down payment.
That's good.
Mm.
That's good.
So that is how it works. But most of the buyer, they come to Wilhelmina, they are all joker buyer. I call them joker. I call them joker. They are not a buyer. Yeah. Especially if they come on WhatsApp and Skype and they say hello. My goodness, it's really burst my blood. They already saw me on my YouTube channel. Say hello, hi. My name is not hello. My name is Wilhelmina.
Okay.
You need to introduce yourself properly, especially if you want to talk to this woman. This woman is very tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
This woman is very brutal. You know.
Yeah, Femi, I'm so glad finding you on the net.
My pleasure.
And I believe that we'll do a very good work together.
I think so. Just keep visiting my platform, and time to time I updated the price. We have gold and diamond. You go on my platform on Facebook. Okay. I think I already given you my main virtual page. Keep reading, because you're gonna learn. I'm telling you.
But the thing is, but the thing is, in what you call in diamond, I have knowledge about.
Well, just view it, just read it.
At all.
Yeah, just read it. You never know. In the future, you might find a buyer. You never know. You never know that the buyer come to you that oh, I'm looking for diamond. So then you will remember Wilhelmina. Yeah, you cannot just get the buyer properly.
If I have a buyer for diamond, then I'm just gonna put them in contact with you, and then you're gonna do the follow up.
No, I want you to create a group chat. Do not give my number. I want you to create a group chat so that I can interview the buyer and you have to read it. This is for your own benefit. Okay?
What to do? I have to
create a group chat on WhatsApp. Okay? Someone is buzzing you. So, but anyways, friend, nice talking to you, and we'll catch up.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, good evening. I just finished my conference. What do you want from me? You keep on calling me and calling me. If you don't tell me who you are, I'm telling you I'm going to block you. What do you want from me? Yeah? You keep on calling and calling and you are from Pakistan. What do you want from Wilhelmina? I'm going to block you if I'm going to block you if you don't introduce yourself properly. You're just wasting my time. I'm too busy. Write it down because your network in Pakistan is very bad. Write it down. I'm busy right now. I'm on conference. Right?
Yes.
Just write that down. What do you want? How many kilos? Are you really a buyer? And how are you able to pay? I just finished having a conference. I just finished having a conference, and you keep on calling me and calling me. You did not read. Read the procedure. It's already on. I'm telling you, if you're not really serious, I'm going to block you. Sorry, there's this guy from Pakistan. He's a young man. He said he's going to buy gold, and I already put the procedure on WhatsApp. Still, he doesn't read, and I don't want to waste my time. This is not for a time waster. Gold business is a real business. That is why I put everything. Before you come to Wilhelmina, please read it first. Do not come because I'm telling you, you are gonna be rejected. Read it first, digest it. Then you have to tell Wilhelmina, I watch your video. I want to buy gold. How many kilos? We don't sell 1 kilo. There's a minimum of 10 kilos. It's not worth it for you to travel. And when I travel with you, I do charge my services. So it's not worth it. Don't waste my time. Keep your money, then save money, or you buy gold in your country. There is a lot of importer. You can buy gold in Pakistan. There's an importer there. You buy. You have to travel to Africa to buy. This is for the gold trader, a big quantity, not a small timer, 1 kilo, 50 gram. Don't waste my time. Don't. I always tell buyer, we don't sell 50 grams, we don't sell 1 kilo. Even in diamond, we don't sell 2 stone, 3 stone. There is a minimum of 5 to 10 stone. The diamond is already on my platform on Facebook. Read it. Don't come to Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina, I want to buy diamond. I want to buy gold. There is a minimum. At least you spend of $200,000 on worth of diamond. It's not worth it for you to travel if you don't have a capital. It's not. Especially if I'll take you to my head office, I do charge my services non-refundable. I do charge to cover my travel cost. I am not here to travel just for you. There is no free in this world. I've given you free already. You are lucky. You're lucky to have me. You're lucky to meet me. I explain everything, right? That is free. I just finished having a conference, a buyer's agent from Turkey. He understand. Another guy from Pakistan keep on calling me while on conference. And I told him, if you don't know how to introduce yourself, I'm going to block you. The reason why I'm going to block you guys, so that you will not come back. If you're not reading, I will keep on blocking you and blocking you. Believe me. So this guy from Pakistan, he's a young man. He said, you want to buy gold and bring it to Dubai. I'm not here to teach you guys. I am here to sell. Read it. This is my online store. The full corporate offer is there. Read it. The diamond, the video and the picture, view it, then select the stone. Then come back to Wilhelmina. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. Today is Friday. I'm going to see the price of gold again. Okay, the price of gold, it fluctuates. 62,103.94. So don't bank on it. So if I'm were you, if you're a buyer watching me, talk to Wilhelmina, make a reservation. I will help you to secure in a proper way. Okay, don't keep on running around thinking you can get gold for nothing. Gold is not for free. If someone offer you 35, 38, 40, that is how to tease you. But when you travel, it costs money to buy an airfare, to stay in the hotel. And then when you arrive in that particular country, then you're going to say, scam. You're part of the scammer. You and the seller who offer cheap price are both scammers. And maybe you're involved in syndicate. Maybe you're involved on gold laundering. Be careful or else you're going to be in calubos. I'm going to tell you for once and for all. I have a friend, this guy, uh, getting friendly with me. He's American, and he went to Kampala. And he has only 40,000. He want to bring the gold to Dubai, and he has a partner, an Indian partner. And the Indian partner said, oh, you don't need to pay the gold, you just pay taxes. So this American naive, he traveled to Kampala together with this Indian. So I told this American buyer, he has only $40,000, and I told him, don't travel, you're gonna lose your money. So he was hard-headed and a stubborn guy, and they went to Kampala. So when he arrived in Kampala, he was drinking and eating as a big man. And he said, Madam, I'm here in the hotel. I'm excited. I'm going to bring the 30 kilos, 30 to 35 kilos. I pay taxes. I said, how much did you pay taxes? I give the seller 10,000. No. The tax in Kampala is 7%. $35,000 per kilo. Use your calculator. I'm not going to expand anymore. So he returned to Dubai. He was waiting for gold. Gold didn't arrive. Now this American guy is getting friendly with me. So when I come to Dubai, I call him to come and see me. And he's really homeless for 3 years. So I invited him to come to my hotel and be my guest, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be my guest. You know how much per head is $75 per head? 75 dirham per head. And I told him, be my guest, because I know he's homeless. He has no permanent address. And when he go out, when he return to his place, I give him money to pay taxes. Now, I send him $450 because he begged me, Madam, I'm in Starbucks. I'm homeless. I don't have money. I just want to use this internet on Starbucks. I did send him $450 because I felt sorry for him. And I told this American guy, if you did listen to Mrs. Ford, you would not stuck in Dubai. Recently, he was been deported. I told him, good. And I told him, how did it happen? He was being arrested. So the police escort him in the airport, deported, one piece of paper because his passport was being confiscated. You know, in Dubai or in Africa, if your passport has been confiscated, you have to learn how to grease the hand. Yeah? You have to learn how to bribe. So now, he called me when he arrived in United States. And I told him, congratulations, at least you made your destination, at least your home. You have roof over the head and you're no longer sleeping on the street. You're just like a beggar, which is really, he was a beggar. So I'm just giving you guys, don't think about that you can get the gold, pay taxes. I'm telling you, you're going to be stranded, 100%. Take this lady. Take the words of this lady. This is for you. This is not for me. I travel to Africa all the time. I always advise the buyer, don't shortcut. Don't cut corner. A minute you cut corner, then you're waiting for disaster. Recently, I've been to Africa and my buyer was been happy. You know what the buyer was saying to me? Mrs. Ford, your services is worth it. They paid my services. They come with me. They're waiting for the gold, for the export documentation. They will feel bored. If I wasn't there, they're gonna feel bored. What I did, I look after them. I take them anywhere. We went to Avenue Restaurant. We went to Kamayan. We went to Rivera Hotel for good time while waiting for the documentation. The seller would not entertain you like this. And then I introduced this buyer to my personal driver, Carlos. A taxi driver. He always park at Nom Hotel. Now, every time I come to Conakry, I call Carlos. Because sometimes my head office doesn't provide me a car because they're very busy. Right. And if I go out in the evening with my client, I just call my personal taxi driver. I paid my taxi driver $100. But you guys, a foreigner, you are very stiff. You're very mean. You're greedy and selfish. Yeah, I can say that. That's the reason why I have to be on live video, because I want to educate you. If you don't have money, don't be involved in this business. If you're scared to pay Wilhelmina services, don't come. Don't come to Wilhelmina, because I already say, when I travel with the buyer, I do charge my services non-refundable. Right. I have to charge you in order to buy ticket from Australia to Africa. You have to put my money into my bank account. I will buy ticket. I will book my hotel and insurance. If you cannot afford, meaning to say you don't have the money, and you're scared, what is the guarantee? The guarantee is with me, with you. The guarantee is you will receive all my sellers' paperwork, the background, the company profile, that who is my seller. I will only release that when I'm satisfied. If I'm not satisfied with you for interview, you wouldn't get nothing from us at all. At least you read the full corporate offer. At least you hear my conversation with the buyer's agent that he has a buyer from Turkey. And this Pakistani keep on calling me when I'm on live conference with the buyer agent. I block him. I can see it. He's on video call. He's a young man. He doesn't have the money. Yeah. He doesn't have the money. He's just time waster. I don't like to deal with a time waster. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening. Good luck. And I shall see you when you're ready.